From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football, the Bethel Bruins and the Phoebus Phantoms. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium on a perfect night for football for a battle between the 3-1 Phoebus Phantoms and the likewise 3-1 Bethel Bruins. Bob, this game has all the earmarks of a good, solid contest. These teams have been very good this year. Big losses for both teams, but they've got to come back tonight and figure out a way to keep winning, because one more loss by either of these teams makes the playoffs really tough.
So you read my mind. You can't go in for two. I think it would hurt Phoebus worse than it would Bethel. Bethel being Division 6, they have a better chance of getting in with two losses. But I think Phoebus they could make it. 8-2 will make it. I think they will make it to the playoffs. But the big thing tonight is Ananias Boyd for the Bruins, Tim. Irregular heartbeat, practiced all week up until yesterday, and they've got him to a cardiologist. He's going to meet with him next week. And, you take a young man who has run as well as he has for the Bruins and not be able to be the last homecoming for him. It's got to affect him a little bit, but and I know that when you lose one of your players, everybody else seems to put it up a notch and play a little bit better.
Well, and not only the other players, but that guy who's been playing behind Ananias Boyd, who before probably wasn't as mentally ready to go in and play as long, because he said, well, I'm going to back up the guy and he's good and I probably won't get to. Now he knows that he's on the spot,
right?
Or they know, maybe a committee that they do this by. but by the same token, when you lose someone of Ananias Boyd's talent, and he's clearly a very talented young man. We've watched him for a couple of years now. That's got to hurt your team. And he's coming off of a tough 40-8 loss at the hands of Hampton last week. So Tracy Parker's got his hands full.
He really does. But he's got the curfew spate going to start at that position, the tailback, the young man that made play of the game for last week against the Hampton Crabbers. Right. So he does have an excellent athlete to take up the slack. But you just want to know, how is it going to affect the rest of the offense and the rest of the defense?
Well, it's a big question. And of course, we've talked about this before. How well does a team recover from a devastating loss? You start the year 3-0, and then all of a sudden you don't just lose a close game. You get pretty well shellacked, 40-8. So you got to figure out, okay, now how are these young men going to come back? And that's where you look for your senior leadership and for the players within themselves to bring it together.
To step it up a little bit. And that's exactly what Tracy is hoping. Now you look over on the other side, Bill D., he alluded to in the interview when you hear this, that they shot themselves in the foot against the Warwick team, played a great game against Heritage, and then just manhandled Denby. So here's the team they're on a mission now. We don't want to lose another game. And of course next week they got a bigger game, but we've got to concentrate tonight. They got to beat Bethel, because Bill says for some reason when we play Bethel, weird things happen, and you and I can go back and remember when he was playing with Kaz. The end of the game was, a toss-up until the whistle blew. So it's going to be interesting tonight.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Bill D's team, the Phantoms, 3-1 as we mentioned. They lost that game to Warwick and have come on strong ever since. They have a couple of kids named McWright. These guys have really done a really nice job for Bill.
Oh, they really have. The young man that runs in the backfield is just unbelievable. He's put on 20 pounds. So he went from 175 to 195, and I've watched him when they played over Norcom, and Tim, he was running over people. I mean, this was really nice to see. And he's got a brother that's played defensive end, and Bill says he's never seen a player that can come off the street and play the way this young man is playing. He says he really knows how to play football, and he's just an animal. And that's what you want on defense. You need somebody to get in there and push people aside and make that tackle and stop. And that's what they did to Johnson at Heritage. 16 yards minus for the game. That's unbelievable. You and I saw him get 100 yards first quarter. So, it's...
against Hampton. It wasn't like they were playing the Sisters of the Poor. They were playing a good defense, and he still had 199 yards for the game. So to hold him down. But Bill, these teams over the years have been more known for their defense than their offense.
Yeah, really have, Tim. And defensively, they take a lot of pride in not letting the other team get into the end zone, not let them get any points, hold them to minus yardage, or not many first downs. They've got goals that they set with this defense. They don't want anything spectacular happen. No big plays, and you know, if they can keep the big plays away this year, then they're going to win a whole lot of games.
Well, we're going to find out about some of that. Right now, we're going to go back in time as Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Bill D. of the Phoebus Phantoms.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on your year so far. You're on a winning note. Did a good job against Denby. Bethel gives a little different look than the other teams you faced tonight. What do you look for from Bethel?
Well, you know, they have two quarterbacks that are, you know, do different things for them. You know, the one kid is more, you know, I think a runner, you know, a kid that can make things happen, you know, on his own. And the other kid throws the ball real well. They spread you out, they'll bring you in. So that, you know, they got a lot of different things they can do there, and they create, you know, a challenge for your defense. And it should be interesting. You know, it seems like this game's always interesting.
Yeah, always with Bethel. But I know that you guys, your forte, if I were to pick one thing that you do well, and that's your defense. You always have a strong defense. But now when you have somebody that comes in and throws a whole bunch of things at you, it just makes the preparation a little tougher.
Well, it does. I think one thing that we've got a lot of veterans on this defense. We've seen a lot of different looks. We scrimmaged Salem early in the year, you know, and Salem's, you know, throwing the ball all over the place, and we did real well against them. You know, I think our pass defense has improved. You know, we've done run on the, you know, the run has always been, I think that's something we've always been good at, stopping the run, and I see the pass defense getting better. So you just hope that we can, you know, not making any mental mistakes, right, and, you know, being in the right place at the right time.
Tell me offensively, are the kids where you want them at this point?
You know, I was real disappointed in the offense the first two games, and, you know, in the second game we just shot ourselves in the foot, turned the ball over and things of that nature. And in the first game, you know, really it was a defensive game. But I was real pleased in the Heritage game. I thought we really, you know, took it to them and played well. And then last week we had another good ball game. So I think we're, you know, the offense does that to you sometimes. You know, it can escape you at times, and you know you just got to find a rhythm. But I think we're fine, and I see us getting better. So
good enough. Well, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Good enough. Let's go back to Tim.
Well, Bill D., of course, is going to have a very important game tonight, this game with the Bruins. They've got another game next week that's very big, but they got to win each game.
Absolutely.
As we started to say at the very beginning, or said at the very beginning, they can't afford another loss, not in Division 5.
No, they could probably make it to the playoffs with an 8-2, but you'd rather go with 9-1. I mean, 9-1, you know you're going to get in. So let's don't worry about 8-2. But this game tonight, very important from the Bethel standpoint. We're without Ananias Boyd. We've done some juggling with our defense. We've taken Jimmy Williams, who was playing safety. We moved him up to a defensive end, a position he played when he was over at Hampton. So he's at a position where he can do more things defensively. They've just moved a few people around to try to give them that little spark that they need. And Tracy is trying with his senior leadership and those sorts of things to get this team back on the winning track.
Well, one of these teams will have 2 defeats after tonight. We'll find out shortly. Right now, we're going to go back in time one more time to talk with head coach Tracy Parker of the Bethel Bruins.
Well, Tracy, you lost a tough one last week. A lot of calls that went against you. Sometimes you shot yourself in the foot, but you've regrouped. You've done some things. How's the team look at this point?
At this point, last week was a drawback for us, but we came out this week, worked really hard, really focused on the things we needed to do to get better.
How about your senior leadership? Very important when you've had a loss, isn't it?
Definitely. Right now, we have a few seniors that are nicked up. You know, we're going through that situation now, but the leadership is there.
Very good. Tell me a little bit about what you expect from Phoebus tonight.
I expect a very physical, hard-fought football game. I mean, they're a very physical team. They're a big team, well-disciplined.
Well, he always says that playing Bethel is always different because there's always something that comes up in the Bethel game. Bill has got a thing with Bethel when Kyle was there and when you were there. Tell me a little bit about what you expect on your defense. How can you stop their running attack? Because that seems to be their big thing.
Well, it is, and we've worked on that all week and worked on stopping that running game, and hopefully tonight everything will come to fruition and we'll have a successful night.
Well, you will. Work on it good.
All right, thank you.
Good luck to you tonight, Coach. All right, stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Welcome back to Darling Stadium as the officials are getting set to bring both teams to the center of the field for the coin toss to determine, of course, who will kick off and who will receive in this contest. A very important contest tonight, as we've already mentioned, between these two schools. Now there is our newest innovation, so if you're subject to easily getting dizzy, you may want to look away.
Scotty said, hold your arms out.
Hold your arms out. If you have vertigo, you might want to avoid that shot. But that is from high above the stadium. Right now we're going to go down to the field for the ceremony before the kickoff.
The Bethel captains. Captain Blunt, Captain Hendricks, Captain Harris, and Captain Wood. Okay, and we do have Captain Wood, Clark, and Boyd. Gentlemen, shake hands. What's up, Cal? What's going on? Okay, gentlemen, tonight we'll be using the colors of green and gold. If a call from the captain for me, the green or gold, come up to me. I'll give you best optional penalty situations. If you don't understand what I've given you, please ask me to repeat it. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Make sure you understand what I've asked you because I have to take your first answer. Everybody understand? You gentlemen are the captains of your team. It's up to you to take charge of the rest of the players of your team. Sportsmanship is a special emphasis. We want to make sure that everyone plays well. You guys know each other. You live in the same city. We expect to see good sportsmanship tonight all night long. As long as you do that, we'll get to play. And we had the coin toss a few moments ago on the sideline. Bethel, you won the toss, elected to receive. Phoebus, you decided to defend the goal to my back. So I asked that you come around behind me. Bethel, you come around this side. Bethel's won the toss, elected to receive. Let gentlemen have a great game.
Bethel wants the ball. They want to see if that offense is going, and we'll get a good chance to see Curfew Spade at that tailback position.
Tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms with 14 Peninsula locations to serve you. Also brought to you tonight by Pearls, located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Call them at 722-1907. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home at the Hampton Center Parkway at Armstead Avenue. Give them a call at 827-4670.
And Tim, we will pick a player of the game tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalder, who is the owner, at 596-8850. The shirt comes from Islander Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
My first opportunity to see Phoebus, Bob, I understand you have seen them previously.
I'm impressed with them, especially defensive. First game of the season, I got to go over on the other side, south side, and watch them play, and very impressed with their defense.
Set to kick off for the Phoebus team is Darius Barnes, rather. And back deep to receive are Jimmy Williams and Curfew Spite for the Bruins. And we are underway. A short kick taken by one of the upmen at the 30-yard line. Out to the 35 and taken down about the 37 or 38-yard line. So the Bruins will have excellent field position to start. Trying to identify, as soon as I can see his number, the young man, I believe that was 86.
Yeah, it was an 80 number. Here's the offense for the Bruins. At center, we got Simmons. At their guards, we have Lewis and Solomon. At tackles, Adams and Waterton. The tight end is Overton. The split end is Keene. The wideout is Eccles. The quarterback, Williams. Bates is the fullback. And starting instead of Ananias Boyd tonight, number 2, Curfew Spate.
All right, we are set to go. 12-minute quarters out of the shotgun. Williams at quarterback. Hands off to Spate, and he is stopped immediately. In fact, he is stopped for a loss of about 3 at the 35-yard line. Mark him between the 35 and 36. For the Phantoms, on defense, they have Littlejohn and Harris at the tackles. The ends are Adibi and McCrite. The inside linebackers are Dixon and Blunt. The outside linebackers are Lee and Hall. The corners are Brown and Parker. And Marlon Ellis is the safety for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Good start defensively, Tim.
Second down and a dozen for the Bruins as they stop the Bruins on a 2-yard loss. And again, Spite gets the call, and again, he will struggle to get back, in this case, to the line of scrimmage. That's it. He might have picked up a foot or two, but it'll bring up third down and about 11, almost 12 for the Bruins.
Well, you call him Spite, I call him Spate.
Yeah, which is it? Do you know?
I think we'll call him Spate.
Okay. We'll be consistent.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what the coach. Potato? Did I hear Scotty say?
Tomato.
Tomato.
So what do you want to? What consensus do you want to go? Spate.
Spate. I think that's what the coach referred to him as, curfew Spate. And if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I believe that's. We got a wide out, triple wide out to the left side here.
Williams out of the gun, feels some pressure, steps away from a would-be tackler, got a man open, but overthrows the intended receiver. That was number 15, Robert Lewis. And that fourth down and long will bring on the kicking team as the Phantom defense holds on the first set of downs.
The best way to stop an offense, Tim, is to, especially passing, is to rush the passer. Watch the pressure, especially from number 5, DB right there. Almost got him, but he had him enough that he didn't do. He did what a quarterback should do: throw the ball away.
Exactly. Joseph Solomon as a block. He had one blocked last week, and again history repeats itself. The Phantoms will have it in great field position at the Bruins 17-yard line.
And I'm not sure who was it, a DB or one of the big guys, big 87. One of those two, Tim, got in and made that block. 87 being Shaheed Harris, big kid, 6'5", 280.
We saw this last week. We saw Solomon set up not as deep. Watch the replay. We just catch the tail end of it, but we saw the same thing happen against Hampton, if memory serves me correctly. On offense, this is McWright trying to turn the right end. He does cut it inside.
Found a nice little crease there. Didn't look like anything.
No, down to about the 8-yard line, so he is close to the first down marker, depending on the spot.
Good chance. We'll show you the offense.
Okay, for the Phantoms on offense, the center is Pavlik. Tidwell and Braxton are the guards. The tackles are Balls and Bunch. Lee and Blunt are the ends. The flankers tonight, we'll use two of them, will be Phillip Brown and DJ Parker. Ronnie Hendricks is your quarterback. Xavier DB is the fullback, and your tailback is Travis McWright.
We got a chance there for a measurement, Tim. That was almost 10 yards, but it looked like he was being strung out enough that he wouldn't go pick up anything. Get a chance.
And it's just inches short. So
well, I didn't get to ask for the eagle eye because we could have saved him all that time. Get a chance. We will give the defense for the Bethel Bruins a little change in it, and there you go. Lido and Perry are guards. The tackles are Overton and Ellis. The ends are James Williams and Jonas Watson. The linebackers are Bates and Solomon. The corners are Hill and Walter Jones, and the safety is Lorenzo Altman.
Just inches short of the first down. Ball marked at about the 8-yard line. Second and short. McWright, left side, has the first down to the 5 and just inside the 5-yard line. So the Phantoms now will be first and goal.
What a nice job.
Travis McWright just doing a spectacular job. We saw him, again, you've talked about him putting on some weight. He was a flyweight when we first saw him. Here's you watch your replay.
Tim, he has put on some weight, and it's all muscle, but he's a strong runner.
And quick.
Yes, got some quick feet.
Out of the I formation. This is McWright's, and he is at the goal line. No signal yet. And
it was close.
He did not get in. They have not spotted him in the end zone. He's inside the 1-yard line, and it'll be second down rather, and goal.
Pearls has been in business since 1947, and they have it all. Drapes, carpet tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical, custom designed for your needs. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907.
Hard to believe on the replay there he didn't cross the line, but the official was right on the spot to deny him that. Now on the quarterback keeper, and that should be a touchdown. It is.
No doubt about Hendricks winning that.
Yep. Hendricks, the quarterback, with the keeper from 1 yard out. And off of the turnover, if you want to, and it is a turnover.
It is a turnover, Tim, absolutely.
The blocked punt sets up the short drive of 18 yards. And the Phantoms are on the board first, leading 6-0. And they'll try and add to the extra point. That's Jason Mickle on to try the PAT. Kick is up, it's long enough, and it is good. So we still have 8:49 remaining in the first quarter, but the Phantoms have gone on top 7-0 off of the blocked punt.
Tim, I do want to recognize the coaches for the Bethel Bruins, the head coach Tracy Parker, assisted by Mike Brown, Levi. Boy, I tell you that name, I'm just going to call him Levi. Jerry Jenkins, Alvin Lewis, Adrian Weidman, James Daniels, Wayne Jones, and Michael Mitchell.
The kicker against the defense. The penalty will be administered on the succeeding spot on the kickoff.
Oh, there was a flag there. And for the Phantoms, head coach Bill D, assisted by Ron Johnson, Greg Navard, Dick Van Dyke, Jerry King, Greg Day, Stan Sexton, Bob Sislow, and James Holbert.
I'm going to guess I want to give Levi a last name here. We're going to spell it Wakinekona.
Kona on the end. That yeah, I got.
Yeah. you need the front part.
Yeah, I knew Levi and Kona.
Joaquin Kona.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we apologize if
do.
we butchered it too bad.
We definitely apologize ahead of time for any name that we mispronounce. We are very receptive to
criticism.
Any of you that know, well, we get that too. We're very receptive to anyone who wants to bring to our attention that we've mispronounced a name, because we certainly, that's right. We figure it's a good night when we remember who we are. But no, seriously, we would invite you, if you care to, you can certainly call or stop by the booth here and say, hey, guess what? You mispronounced my kid's name. It is such and such, and we truly will not be offended by that.
No, we won't.
We don't want to mispronounce.
We are beyond being offended.
That's right. Time is taking an offense out of our whole scenario. All right.
21st year, Tim.
That's right. And they said it wouldn't last. This is a little deeper this time. This is all the way to the 7-yard line. And a run back across the 20 out close to the 25. Pretty good return.
Nice return.
18 yards. I'll try and determine for you in just a minute. I think that was
Kirby Spate was the one that got the ball, Tim.
So the Bruins will get the ball now. They were 3 and out with a blocked punt the last time. They'll start this possession at their 25-yard line, and Tracy Parker's group will try to get untracked offensively.
Well, when you have Jimmy Williams in there, Bill D says he's more of a running quarterback, and that's what we look for. And when Kyle Franklin's in there, he's a good passer himself, but it can run the offense also. Now we have 3 wideouts down at the bottom of the screen and split at the top.
And 2 guys covering, so there's obviously an opportunity there. Williams has some time, throws, got him this time, 30, and that's all. 30-yard line is where Godfrey Benson made the grab.
Tim, you're right. There were 3 wideouts, but there's only 2 defensive backs over there, and I'm not sure if one of the linebackers is supposed to come over or not.
I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. That was Robert Lewis, number 15, who made the catch. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Robert
Lewis, number 15, on the grab. So it's a pickup of 5 yards, 2nd down and 5 for the Bruins. 8:05 left here in the first quarter. This game videotaped for your enjoyment, we hope. On October the 5th, the year 2001. Williams scrambling, looking, and now he'll be sacked back at the 24-yard line. So a loss of 6 on the play.
I don't think the Bruins have picked up the 3 wide receivers, 2 defensive backs.
Well, and that was a coverage sack there. Williams created time by scrambling and did a good job. He's very elusive. Watch the replay here.
End up losing 6 yards. It was 2nd and 5.
Right.
But great pressure.
And he's looking and he's looking, and he just runs out of real estate and time and has to eat the ball. So it's 3rd down and 11. Over center, Williams. And the draw play goes nowhere. A late flag comes down.
Maybe a face mask, Tim. Or holding. The 2 calls would be there.
Richard Rawls, we didn't tell you who the officials are. There is the call. It is a holding call, or face mask at least.
No, it's a holding call.
Now he's changed the team that he pointed.
Yeah, because
here are your officials for tonight. Richard Rawls is your referee. Tim Brame is the umpire. Linesman is Frank Herndon. The line judge is Brent Kadish. The back judge is Bernie Riesbeck. And Bill Ferry is your field judge for tonight's contest.
Holding against the offense. Penalty's going to be declined. 4th down.
Yeah, and that would be the call in that area. You'd either have holding or a face mask, and I'm not sure we can see the holding, but while you can see the penalty flag come flying in there, and of course that is declined as the loss on the play brings up 4th down.
Well, when the runner got to the center of the pile, then I saw the flag come, so I thought, that's might have been a face mask. But
Solomon gets this away. It's a high, relatively short kick, taken.
Philip Brown looked like.
Philip Brown, number 2, and he returns it into Bethel territory. See where they mark it exactly. He went out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So the punt is successful this time, and the Bruins have had a punt block now 2 consecutive weeks.
Tim, field position battle right now is being won by the Phantoms.
28.
Big guy right up the middle.
28-yard punt a moment ago. Now the runner is Xavier Adibi, whose brother will be playing on Saturday for the Techsters over there at Virginia Tech. They've got a tough game Saturday. Of course, as the fans watch this game, they'll already know about that game.
But we can still talk about it.
Yeah, older brother.
Yeah, and he's real proud of this young man of young brother of his.
2nd down and about 7. This is Travis McWright, and he is to about the 20 or just a 36-yard line. Needs to get to the 31 to get a first down. McWright is stopped. They'll mark him at the 36. I mentioned the 31 he needed to get to. My eyes, Old Eagle Eye needs some help tonight, Bob. It's 3rd down and 4. It's at the 32-yard line he needs to get to. I got these bifocals on, and for some reason I'm not doing well. McWright into the middle of the pile will get very close to the first down marker, depending on the spot now, as he gets to right at the 32. Might have gotten inside of the 32, which would apparently be enough for a first down. Let's see where they mark him. Yep, that is going to be. Now they're going to bring the chains across, but I'll tell you right now, Bob,
I'm listening.
This is a first down. Made it by the length of the football.
Can we get in touch with Rawls, save him all this?
Well, I don't want to steal his thunder.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Length of the football.
Length of the football. Get it on it. Now people kind of.
They got their nerve. It is a first down.
It was a little more than the length of a football.
Well, they shrunk the ball, but it's.
They shrunk the ball.
Yeah,
honey, I shrunk the ball.
I shrunk the ball.
New. I'll have to call Disney.
All right, 31-yard line is where they mark it. 5:50 remaining in the first quarter. Phoebus 7, Bethel nothing. This is Travis McWright again, and he will bowl his way down close to another first down.
You see what I'm talking about, Tim? When he gets hit, he keeps his feet moving. He's got the weight now that he didn't have last year or when he was a sophomore.
And he is just a junior. Or no, I think that he's a senior now.
He's a senior, right.
Yeah, he's 5'9", 175. Not very tall, but as Bob said, put on that extra weight in the form of muscle, which makes him that much more difficult to stop. 2nd down and a yard. This is Adibi, and Adibi picks up the first down as he is inside the Bethel 20-yard line.
And they're just running that veer offense, Tim, where the fullback just kind of goes off of the tackle, and if he's covered sometimes, Hendricks is going to keep the ball and pitch it to the tailback. It would be McWright, so we got a timeout on the field, looks like.
Yeah, the Bruins need to regroup.
Well, we got a chance here. I do want to talk about our people. Scotty Bowers is the director, graphics and audio. Andy Foley Engineer Down Sharous. Cameras Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, and Ron Payton. Instant replay Andre Mattingly, Juan Brown, and Desiree Lewis on the mobile.
They're the mobile cable technician.
Mobile cable technician, and Mike Nowinski. Didn't catch that, Scotty.
Susan is training someone on the camera too.
Oh, very good.
Cross training.
We need that training. And of course, I don't want to forget Mike Nowinski.
Yeah, don't forget Mike.
I won't. I promise I won't forget Mike. Tim, I want to see how good you are on SOLs. How long was the 100-year war?
The 100-year war, that seems rather logical. It was, by the way, that's a trick question, I think. That 119 years, if memory serves me correctly.
You're just a little off. It's 116.
Oh, well,
I told Killen the wrong number.
I inverted the. Who's buried in Grant's tomb? I definitely know that one.
Okay.
Me right now. You were ready for me.
You've been talking to Tim, huh? I mean, to Killen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Killen was. He's going to sabotage me, but I got him covered. I figured that's what he would do.
Ask me about the 30-year war.
No, that one comes later. That comes later.
All right. Well, I guess we're SOL here. So. All right, here it is. Second down and about 7. And McBride is hauled down.
Defense.
Yes, the defense doing what it needs to do right now.
That big Christopher Ellis, Tim, number 49. Good job.
Boy, you hear the name Chris Ellis, it makes you go back to the days of.
Yeah, I was thinking, is this Typhoon basketball?
Typhoon basketball. Chris Ellis, talking about showing your age. Talking 30 years ago plus. Watch the replay here. And a good job of slowing down McBride. That's the first time tonight they've stopped him for no gain.
Ellis plays one of those tackle positions on that 6-man line for the Bruins.
Third down for the Phantoms. They'll pass for the first time, and it's batted down by Jimmy Williams. And lucky for the Phantoms, that's all he did, because had he been able to grab it, there was nobody between him and the other end zone. So now the Phantoms will have to make a decision.
I think he's going for field goal.
Well, I was just saying, I'm not familiar with their kicking team. Here's the replay. Watch this. This was very close. It's going to come right in the middle of your screen. And look at Williams. Just got a hand up, and otherwise that might have been a completion. All right, to try for the field goal is Mickle, and his kick is long enough.
Oh, wow, looks good.
And it is good. So a 33-yard field goal.
You see that Shaheed Harris picked him up, Tim, and just like a
I didn't want
paper down, just threw him around.
Didn't want to say anything, but the kicker isn't much bigger than a drink of water. That young man is not much in size at all. 5'7", 140, and I always love to see the smaller guys on the football team because they can contribute.
How long of a field goal was that, Tim?
That was 33 yards.
Nice job.
And there was no doubt about it either. He nailed it. Of course, we haven't talked much about the weather. There is a breeze tonight, but it's not super strong, and it is kind of going back and forth. Yeah. It's really not consistent, but to his credit, that was a very fine-looking kick. So
okay, SOL. Oops. What country makes Panama hats?
China.
No. Tim, Ecuador.
Oh, hey, well, I figured you want to go as far away from Panama as you could.
Well, sometime now we probably get them made in China or Taiwan or somewhere.
Right. Well, I gotta start studying up on my SOLs.
I'll tell you.
All right, third time tonight we've seen the kickoff from the Phantoms. This one is taken at the 14-yard line. This is Spate, and he is out to the 21. Curfew Spate.
Well, 2 possessions for the Phantoms and 10 points.
That's right.
Two possessions for the Bruins, a block punt and a punt.
Amen. All right, here is the return of the kickoff.
Very good kickoff in that, if you let it hit and it doesn't go out of bounds, it's a free ball. So as a receiver, you got to make a quick decision. Is it going to go out of bounds and we got great field position or not?
So
new quarterback.
Yeah, Kyle Franklin is the quarterback, and unfortunately the ball
I think we lost the ball.
Yeah, and it's loose, but recovered by the Bruins. Looks like number 62 for Bethel, that is James Waterton, came up with the loose ball. Ball carrier on that play was number 25, Kenny Clark. Here's the replay. See if we can pick up the fumble here. He's got it
right there.
Knocked out of his hand.
Nice job. The tackler just punched that ball right out of there.
And I could be wrong on this, but I'm going to tell you that I think it was Shahidi Harris who punched the ball out. It looked like 87 got there and caused the fumble.
Shahid, 6'5", 280, Tim. He get a hold of you.
All right, Franklin back to throw in the flat, overthrows his intended receiver. On the pattern, that was Kyle Keene, number 80. And an incomplete pass stops the clock with 2:57 left here in the first quarter. And it's Bethel nothing and Phoebus with 10 points.
Well, I know Tracy Parker figures, fellas, if we can get a first down and get a little momentum, we can do something. Right now, Phoebus's defense is just stifling them, not giving the quarterback a chance to throw. We got Jimmy Williams, who was wide out.
Right up the middle. And getting some yardage across the 25 out to about the 27, short of a first down, but nonetheless a very nice looking run. That was number 14, Derek Bates.
Yeah, Tim, you know, that's the kind of yardage you want to get on first down.
Right, not third and long. You're absolutely right. But that'll bring up a fourth down with the clock moving at 2:31 remaining in the first period. And Joseph Solomon will be back deep. Bruins signaling to the sideline. I'm not sure they have enough players. Now they do get another player coming on the field. And they need to be careful about taking too much time. Solomon gets the kick away. And interestingly, the Phantoms made no effort at all. Philip Brown there just.
Oh, we got a flag.
Late flag down. So we'll wait and see what this penalty flag will be for. There you saw us for just a moment. That was Mr. Baton giving us a moment of, I don't know if glory is the right word. We were there. We were on.
Oh.
And now he's going to
well, that's definitely not us.
No, and that's definitely an improvement over us
yes,
in many senses of the word. Personal foul on each team will offset.
All right, Tim, what month?
Personal foul against both teams. Penalties will offset. We're going to replay the down.
So they'll make them kick it over. That's the big factor here. Which month?
Which month does Russia celebrate the October Revolution?
The obvious choice is March.
Well, no, just think ahead a little bit.
The October Revolution, I guess you'd celebrate it in November. Perhaps.
Absolutely. All right. I knew you.
A little help.
You've been studying a little bit.
Yes, of course I have. That was it. All right, more dangerous than you'd like to think. Solomon does get the kick away again. A fair catch is called for and taken at the 48-yard line by the same before-mentioned Philip Brown.
And Tim, he picked up maybe about 8 yards on that, the two different punts.
Yep.
Catching it rather than letting it hit.
Yeah, I think the coaches would much prefer the catch, because when it hits the ground like that, a lot of things can happen, and most of them are bad.
That's true. Not only does it take a bounce in favor of the kicking team, but it can also bounce into one of your players, which is then becomes a live ball.
25-yard kick, no return. So the Phantoms from their 48-yard line. And this is a DB across midfield to about the 49 of the Bruins.
Phoebus just pretty basic.
Well, Bill D's teams have never been flashy on offense. They've always been very methodical and, with few exceptions, he's never really been one to put a passing game on the field with great regularity. He's been more of a conservative team in that his defense usually ends up being the strong point of his team. And offense just does a good job.
Cross was responsible for that first score.
Exactly. Travis McWright with what appears to be enough for a first down.
Oh, yes.
At the 42 of the Bruins. And it is a first down by about a half a yard. So the Phoebus Phantoms will keep it on the move here, leading 10-0 as we approach the 1-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Phantoms with a 3-1 record. Their only loss to Warwick. 10-8, I believe, was the final score of that game. This is a DB, again, up the middle for 2 or 3 or maybe as many as 4. Looks more like 3. Of course, Hampton defeated this Bethel squad last week, and we talked about this. Won't belabor the point at this point in the season, but Bethel is in Division 6, and Phoebus, it is a big group of Division 5, along with Heritage, Warwick, and Hampton. So this game is crucial to the Phantoms. As you and I talked about in the pregame show, they can't afford another loss, most likely. And Travis McWright will get very close to yet another first down, depending on the spot.
You see who's down there leading that team? Number 54, the center, Pavlik, is down blocking, snapping the ball and downfield blocking.
Now they are going to need to bring the chains out as you watch the replay coming up. Going to bring the chains out. They need to get to the 32.
Now that's close.
That's going to be real close. Eagle Eye has got some problems here from the angle, but I'm going to tell you, I think he made it just barely. Up, just
barely
it.
Didn't make it.
Okay, I had a bad angle. What can I do?
Okay, yeah. Always. Why do you have an excuse when?
No. See, I usually I'm willing to throw it out there. I was going to say I'm not going to guess, but I knew he either just made it or just missed it, one of the two. And they did just miss it, but it's third down and less than a yard at the Bruin 32. They really haven't been able to stop the running attack, but maybe one time. This is a DB, and a DB slants off the left tackle and gets the first down across the 30 to the 29-yard line.
And see, it's really tough when you're expecting you bunching everything in like they did that time. The Bruins, they bunched everything in the middle looking for that quarterback sneak, and then they went on that slant with that veer, Tim, and there's not enough people to stop it. You're going to pick up your yardage. Okay, what do we got now?
That is the end of the first quarter. The Phantoms, after registering the first down at the 29-yard line, will switch ends of the field, and the Phantoms leading 10-0 will be going from our right to our left. We look across the field at the stands for the Phantoms tonight. Of course, both of these teams use this as their home field. Tonight just happens to be homecoming for the Bethel Bruins.
Okay, Tim. There's a place in the Pacific. It's called the Canary Islands. Which animal was the Canary Islands named after?
Is this also about Grant's tomb? Have we got one about that?
No. You're telling me you don't know?
I'll give you a couple of peanuts if you'll leave me alone.
Okay.
Well, obviously,
how about dogs?
The choice would be canaries, but obviously that's not.
No, that's not right.
I can tell that.
Don't take the obvious.
In the first quarter, no, I've learned that already. In the first quarter, the Bruins were held to -6 yards, while the Phantoms registered 68 yards first quarter offense. Second quarter gets setting to get underway at the 29-yard line of the Bruins. Hendrick, the quarterback, and he gives to McWright, and McWright picks up short yardage, maybe 2 at the most, to about the 27-yard line. I'm not sure we talked a lot about Zooms in the first quarter. We were kind of doing some other things, but did you mention about Zooms, our good buddies?
No, we didn't. They've got all kinds of good stuff, and we talked about the fried chicken. In fact, Tim, last week, as we watched McWright, last week a guy come up to me and said, you guys were talking about fried chicken. He said, I got so hungry I turned the TV off and went to Zooms and got some chicken. I said, we wanted to leave, but we couldn't.
I tell you, they've got that great Citgo gas. They've got Beantown coffee, Krispy Kreme donuts, fresh fried chicken.
Well, they got that new Zooms down on Big Bethel Road.
Yeah.
And if you go by there, I went by today, filled up the tank, $1.19.
Was it that much? I heard it was $1.13 down there.
Well, it was $1.19 today. They saw me coming.
Well, it was $1.19 for you.
Because I asked him how long was 100 years war.
And he said about $1.19.
We're going to get you, boy. When you coming by?
119 years. Fourth down for the Phantoms, as it's 4th down and 1. They need to get to the 19-yard line.
What a big defensive stand this would be for the Bruins if they could hold the Phantoms right here.
Yeah, McWright carried the last time. Now, in a 3rd and short moment ago, they went to the slant with Adibi, and they do that again. Big Xavier Adibi carries for the first down to the 16-yard line. So they're just pounding that line with their strong offensive line and the good running of McWright and Adibi. So they move the chains. Ball is marked just short of the 16-yard line. And the clock continues to move here as we are down approaching the 10-minute mark of the first half. Joined us late. The Phantoms blocked a Joseph Solomon punt, and they capitalized with a 1-yard quarterback sneak by the quarterback Hendrick. And then after getting the ball back on, not downs, but after a punt, they were able to kick a 33-yard field goal to make it 10-0. The young man Jason Mickle with the strong leg for the field goal. Marked the ball just across the 8-yard line. 2nd down and about 6, almost 7. As you look at Tracy Parker on the sideline with the assistant coaches trying to solve the dilemma they're facing right now, and that's to stop the running attack of these Phantoms. And again, Travis McWright. And the ball comes loose. We got a fumble, and let's see who got it. They say the Bruins did not get it. They had it for a moment, but the Phantoms come up with the loose ball, so they'll keep possession.
And that was number 9, Tim, Marvin Ellis. The split end that came up. He'll play split end and tight end. He's the one to come up with the ball. Watch this ball pop loose. Popping right there, and there comes Ellis.
Yep. Bruins had a good shot at it, but Ellis was there first. So it's 3rd down, and now a timeout called by the Phantoms.
Tim, while we got this minute timeout, I do want to congratulate Channel 46 WHCS for winning an international award. This is the Telly Award for its video entitled Past, Present, and Future. This thing is last year's winners in this category included the HBO, the Sci-Fi Channel, Touchstone Pictures, Discovery Channel. No other school system in the country has had that recipient. And also, to go further than that, they also received further recognition for this video Past, Present, and Future. It was the Best of Show, a Platinum Aurora Award. Of course, the directors, Don Chiraus, the editor, Andy Foley, written and produced by Mike Nowinski, and the executive producer, Scotty Bowers. Congratulations, fellas. Great job.
And ladies. You have any ladies in there?
Nope.
Well, someone on the crew.
Well, I'm sure there was, but there wasn't.
Okay. but quite seriously, this is a very prestigious award. You don't just get this for opening the door and turning on the lights.
No, sir.
No, great job as always. This crew is a great group of professional people. All right, 3rd down, and a crucial 3rd down, if you will. Of course, we've already seen the power of Mickle's kicking ability. They are in field goal range here. 3rd down and about 6, almost 7. Rolling, Kendrick's got a man wide open. That's a DB, and he is across the goal line. Touchdown.
He came out of the.
Got a flag down though.
Tim, he came out of the backfield and just like he was on that slant run, and nobody picked him up. We'll see what the flag is.
If it's against the Phantoms, obviously it will nullify the touchdown.
And it is against the Phantoms.
Okay, so the Bruins catch a break here on 3rd down and 7. The touchdown will not count, and that was a pretty play. They executed that very nicely.
Excellent. And you called it earlier. Bill doesn't throw the ball up off.
Illegal use of hands against the offense. Penalty would be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 3rd down.
So that holding, that's almost like a turnover.
So they move it all the way back to the 24, I checked that 23-yard line. 1st down marker is the 12. 23 to the 12 is 19 yards, I thought.
That's what I thought. But again, it may be a trick question.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure of anything. This one's picked off. This one tipped and intercepted, and that will definitely be a huge play for the Bruins because they were in jeopardy of going down by 3 scores. Lorenzo Altman got the tipped ball and returned it for the Bruins out to the 18-yard line. Watch the replay here. You're going to see this ball tipped right there by the intended receiver, DJ Parker. And Altman picked it out of the air and gives the Bruins a big turnover.
That's why the coaches work on that tip drill, Tim. Right there, that's the reason.
Kyle Franklin is still your quarterback, and he gives off up the middle to about the 20-yard line, a gain of a couple. Ball carrier on that particular play was Godfrey Benson, number 30. I called his name earlier in error. Now I can call it correctly.
Did you say Franklin carried that?
Benson, number 30. So Kyle Franklin, the quarterback. Jimmy Williams.
Both teams have had a turnover now. Let's see if the Bruins can
I'm trying
capitalize on it.
Trying to spot Williams out there. I don't see him on the field. And the running game stopped cold by the Phantoms. That'll end up in a loss back to about the 19-yard line, maybe even further back than that.
Jimmy's going in now, Tim.
Yeah, Jimmy was out for that play, Jimmy Williams. They'll mark it just short of the 19-yard line. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Bruins. Still trying to get untracked offensively. 7:25 on the clock in the first half. Clock is moving. And play action. This one taken by number 14, Derek Bates, the ball carrier, and did not fool the Phantoms. We've got a stoppage of play, and now they'll restart the clock. I wasn't quite sure why they stopped the clock. So this brings up a 4th and long now for the Bruins, and again, their kicking game has had some scary moments. Not including, or not to omit the 2 block punts in the last 2 weeks. Solomon, the left-footed kicker, gets a good one away. This one's going to be taken at the 45-yard line. And down to the 39, and that'll be all. A late flag comes in. Ball carrier was Philip Brown, who returned the punt. But a penalty flag down on the play. Richard Rawls, the umpire tonight, will indicate clipping against the Phantoms on the return.
Tim, we do want to congratulate and thank Zooms for allowing us to recognize a senior in each one of these teams who have demonstrated academic excellence.
Slipping gets Phoebus after change of possession. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st down.
These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season's over. We'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes. And those players are from Phoebus, number 9, Marlon Ellis. From Hampton, number 1, Aaron Whitehead. From Kickertown, number 52, Tommy Hammond. And from the Bethel Bruins, number 54, Jonas Watson. Congratulations, fellas.
All right, from the 46, the Phantoms have it again, leading 10-0. Bruins unable to capitalize on the interception, and they've given it right back after 3 downs. This is Travis McWright out close to midfield. He'll be marked between the 49 and the 50. Gain of a little more than 3. Well, a 2nd down and about 7 for the Phantoms.
Call Pearls for all your drapes, whether need custom design by interior decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will do a free in-home consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call, 722-1907. President is John West and Vice President Rita Barker.
Got a stoppage of play for an equipment problem. And the player with that problem is off the field now, so they'll regroup. And we go inside of the 6-minute mark here in the first half. 10-0 in favor of the Phantoms of Phoebus. On the option, the pitch to McWright. He's got the left corner to the 46-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down. Gain of about 5.
Joseph Solomon, Tim, great tackle that time. Number 55.
You'll watch the replay here. You're going to see Hendrick on the fake into the line.
Watch right from the side. That's 55. Just drove his shoulder into him, come from that linebacker spot. Followed the play.
3rd down and a couple. All at the 46. And McWright. He is going to be very close to the first down. Again, depending on the spot. Looks to be a left foot spot, which would be to the benefit of the Phantoms. Oops, boy, they put it between the left and the right foot. He fooled me on that one. That one's going to be a real.
He said no problem.
Richard looked at that one and said, "Go for it. It's a first down." That was close enough to measure from here.
I would think so, but
Richard said, "Yep, it's first down." Now they moved the ball after the initial spot. They were showing it closer to the 45 than they spotted it at the 44. So they're messing with us, Bob. Messing with us.
Worse than I am? Messing with you?
They're messing with us. Don't ask me any more of those SOL questions.
Okay. How long was the 30 Years' War, Tim?
30 years.
Absolutely.
All right. I got one right.
Absolutely.
Ask me about Grant's tomb.
I don't know that answer.
Trying to quit while I'm ahead. All right, first down at the 44. This is check that. It's not McWright, but rather it is DB, who carries it to the 40-yard line. And that's a gain of 4. 2nd down and half a dozen. Clock continues to move here. 4:15. There you see the scoreboard. 10-0 in favor of the Phantoms, who are designated the visitors tonight. Hendrick on that same option play, pitches it back to McWright, and the defense knocks the ball loose. That ball is up for grabs. Looks like the Bruins might have come up with it, but let's see. Nope, they say the Phantom. Boy, the Bruins had 2 chances to recover that ball.
Sure did, and what a great hit that time. I didn't see who made the stick.
They were ready for that play. They saw that one last time. Now the Phantoms will take a timeout. They did retain possession, and so they'll call a timeout, their 2nd of the first half. Watch the replay here. You're going to see the ball come loose on the option. McWright, and he just coughed up that. Again, that was Joseph Solomon in on the stop along with Bates, number 14.
Somebody tried to pick the ball up, which was a mistake.
Yes, and there you saw exactly what that was. And I will be quick to tell you, they do the same thing on Friday nights, and they do the same thing on Sunday afternoons.
Absolutely.
They all know.
They all think I can pick it up and run it in, and what you need to do first is get possession.
Well, I watched a game not long ago that was pivotal. The play was pivotal in the final outcome of the game because the person who had the chance to just fall on the ball tried to make the spectacular play, booted it around, and it ended up being recovered by the team who had fumbled it. And it just makes you use that, but you can't, everybody wants to make that pickup of the ball and run for the touchdown, and you can't blame anyone for wanting to do that. But you've got to be disciplined.
Tim, this is not the SOLs. I'm just throwing some stuff at you. I just want to let you know. But there are some kind of neat ones here.
Yeah.
Which animal do you get catgut from?
I know this one. I know this one.
Because Kellen told you.
No.
Okay.
It's not a dog, because that would be the logical choice. It's a horse.
It's a horse and a sheep.
A horse and a sheep. Who does what?
Well, one bad and the other one neighs.
That was really bad. There you go. First down grab.
Shaheed.
Yes, the big guy, Shaheed Harris, and I say big 6'5", 280. This senior, when he runs over you, and right now one of the Bruins is laying down the ground, not too dissimilar to a little bit of roadkill. I think he might have just gotten run over by big Shaheed Harris.
And another good thing about Shaheed, Tim's got good hands.
Yeah.
You get the ball close to him,
Watch this on the replay. See if this is what happened to the defender that got nailed. That was a good-looking pass. And, Bill D didn't want to throw it up again after that, pick just a few months ago. But that one's right there, and boom. That's who it was, all right. Yeah. He just got leveled. Shaheed Harris Number 87, the young man on the grab. Now the Bruins will burn a timeout as we hit 3-3-3. Time remaining here in the first half. And that's Tracy Parker in your picture. He will come out partly onto the field to talk to his team on the near sideline.
What is camel hair's brush made of? Camel hair's brush.
Well, see, sooner or later I'm going to say the obvious, and I'm going to be right like that 30-year war thing. Camel hair brush.
Not camel.
Huh?
It's not
It's
camel.
not a camel. Well, at least
This one blew my mind.
leaves a lot of things to squirrel. A squirrel.
Squirrel.
Oh, my
Fur. It's a camel hair brush. Man, you talk about false advertising.
Well, yeah, what you call it, a squirrel hairbrush.
Well, yeah, well, people like, camel hair sounds more exotic than a squirrel hair, I guess. I don't know.
I got another one for you. If it was the 100-year war, it was 116 years. Why do they call it the 116-year war?
Yeah, they didn't. When they first did it, they used Roman numerals, and they just didn't
rounded
look
up.
good. Didn't look good, just one letter.
They rounded down. All right, well, we hope you're enjoying some of these questions. Those of you in the audience that think I'm stupid, I hope you have the same difficulty with some of these not so obvious answers.
Where are Chinese gooseberries from?
Hey, Bobby, you gotta squeeze that tight end. I have to think about that one.
Okay.
First down. After the completed pass to Harris. And now the Phantoms back on the ground. They run the ball with McWright to the 21-yard line. So he picks up 5, almost 6. Well, they move it down. You see 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got second down and 4. I got to count him over there. This is a DB, and he will be close to another first down, and they mark him at the 16, which will move the chains once again. So they'll stop the clock long enough to move the chains. Richard Rawls will look over there, and he'll say, yep, that's a first down. Move them, guys.
Have you figured that one out yet?
What was the question again?
Where do you get Chinese gooseberries?
Well, see, I've had a little birdie tell me where. I'm going to concentrate on my football here because I sure don't know those answers. 16-yard line, first down. This is left side McWright, and they are ready for him this time as he may have gotten half a yard or less. Stopped at the right at the 16-yard line. They give him a foot. And it's second down, and for all intents and purposes, 10 yards to go. 2:25. The clock is moving. Each team rather, has one timeout remaining.
Hey, echo! Whoa, echo!
16-yard line. The Phantoms leading 10-0 here with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey!
Hendrick wants to throw, does, and it's off the fingers of Harris, who was open at the 7-yard line. That was a pretty tough pass to
Tim,
catch.
it was really a little bit behind him. He had to reach behind and try to get the ball, but you're right, it was a tough pass.
Threw it in there with some velocity.
Come on, defense! Come on, Joe! Woo! Come on, Mike! Let's go! Woo! Let's go, Chris! Yeah, all right!
So it is third down and 10.
Hey, this guy's got to hold it tight end now!
Yeah, number 7, DJ Parker in there with Phillip Brown, both of them wide to the top of the screen.
On the delayed handoff, this is McWright weaving his way toward the end zone. Did he touch down? No, he did not get in. His knee went down at about the 3-yard line.
And Tim, had he fumbled the ball after he crossed the goal line, it would have made no difference because the play would have been essentially over.
So his knee went down, and he is marked down at the 3-yard line. Watch the replay here.
Nice move right there.
So that's where his knee went down.
I don't know if his knee got down or not.
Well, they ruled it that way, but you're right. It was real quick. So we're at the 1:30 mark, and it's first and goal at 3. A DB left side, touchdown. Ball came loose, but that was after he broke the play. And the Phantoms will get the touchdown, a 3-yard run by Xavier Adibi. So the Phantoms make it 16-0. And number 40, Jason Mickle, will come on and make it, or try to make it 17. Kick is partially blocked, it looked like, but it did not get enough, or actually it ended up being wide to the right. It looked like someone might have gotten a hand on it.
Either that or he just really got underneath it and pushed it off to the right, like some of the Killings drives. He does hit the ball and go to the right.
I know all about that.
Well, when I went down and played today, we thought, well, where's poor Tim? He's not playing golf today.
No, he wasn't. Here's the replay of the touchdown. Watch Adibi just follow his blocking into the end zone. Ball did come loose, but that was well after the ball had crossed the plane for the touchdown.
So were you working hard today?
Yeah, I was working hard. I had a lot of things to do. I took off yesterday and went up to Williamsburg to
check some of the tournament out?
Yeah, had a great time up there. Beautiful day. Oh, my gosh. A friend of mine and I from work went up there and took it all in and just had a wonderful time. Followed David Duval around, and he didn't do particularly well. He had 73 on the day, which is not typical for him.
Well, that's where he got his first win, wasn't it, at Anheuser-Busch?
So. Boy, what a beautiful tournament that is. That is a spectacular place to go. All right, we're set to get the kickoff after the touchdown taken at the 19-yard line by Jimmy Williams. Always dangerous. Gets to the outside.
Oh, nice move.
Needs a block. Cuts it back, has one man to beat, that's the kicker. Now DJ Parker picks him up, he's got an angle on him, and he does force him to come back inside, and then the pursuit catches up, but not before the Bruins have the ball deep in Phoebus territory.
He's kind of scary when he's got a chance to maneuver a little bit. What a great job. You see the fans over here got excited.
The Bruin crowd finally gets something to cheer about. Here's the
now watch
replay.
this. It looks like it's going up the middle. And then he says, no, we're going to change this thing. Right here he makes a nice move. But the pursuit, good job by DJ Parker, Tim, number 7, to really cut him back inside where the people got back to him.
On the pass on first down, incomplete, short, and almost picked off by Philip Brown, as the quarterback, Kyle Franklin, was hit just as he threw the ball. That was a 54-yard punt return, or excuse me, kickoff return rather, by Jimmy Williams of the Bruins. So that gives them second down at the 22-yard line. Bruins have not been able to get untracked offensively, but they've got a short field now, and this would be a huge effort if they could get some points.
5 wideouts.
Over the middle, got a man open, right through his hands, as the intended receiver, Willis Overton, just couldn't bring it in.
Tim, that ball couldn't have been thrown too much better. Wide open. That was a potential touchdown right there. They have no backs back there to protect Kyle Franklin when he drops back.
So third down and 10. 53 seconds remaining. Each team with one timeout left. Franklin rolling pocket, looking. Williams says, I'm open in the end zone. Now Franklin will go down at the 15-yard line, short of a first down. And now the Bruins will quickly call their final timeout to set up a fourth down and about 3. Need to discover the end zone here if they can. A field goal would give them some points, but they really need 7. Here's the replay. You're going to see Franklin just forced to cut it back inside, and by that time the pursuit caught up with him.
Well, he lost his footing a little bit too as he made the turn, or made his cut. But if 3 more yards would have been great, because that would have stopped the clock with the first down. No timeouts left for the Bruins. And I don't know how good their field goal kicker, Tim, is. So, at this point, looks like they're discussing it down there, and they're going to try to pick up the yardage for the first down.
Wish we hadn't said that thing about fried chicken at Zoom, huh?
Well, I get a little hungry too.
Well, they got that good pizza. They've got
Potato wedges,
and fried chicken and fresh made subs on the premises and
Krispy Kreme donut.
Oh man, I'm telling you. Zoom's 14 location.
Oh, could stand a Coke.
All right, here we go. 4th down and about 3, throwing to the end zone, and this one is picked off. Might have been well advised to let it go because they would have gotten it back on downs, but they always trying to make a play. Late flag comes in, but this will be a post-possession change penalty flag.
Franklin just threw that to a spot. Big guy trying to get to the end zone, but Philip Brown just followed that ball.
The intended receiver was Michael Lito. Again, the penalty flag thrown well after the change of possession. So
Clip.
This one will belong to the Phantoms. With 29 seconds remaining, you would only imagine that the Phantoms will just simply
Bethel after change of possession, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
So the penalty will move them backwards to about the 8-yard line. And there you see the scoreboard. And again, with Bruins having used up their timeouts, Bill D will just be very happy to burn the 29 seconds off this clock. They line up in a take a knee formation, and that's what they'll do. So a loss of a yard on the play, but of no consequence because they simply want to get to the locker room with a 16-point lead. An interception, a blocked punt by the Phantoms, an interception by the Bruins. Unfortunately, they were unable to capitalize on it. A big kickoff return by Jimmy Williams, but again, the Bruins unable to get any points off of the opportunities. We've come to halftime, and our score at the half is Phoebus 16 and the Bethel Bruins nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the second half of action after this brief timeout. Back here at Darling Stadium at halftime, the ceremony is concluding as you look at the Phoebus Phantom team leading 16-0 after the first half. For the Phantoms in the first half, they had 31 rush attempts for 117 yards. Their leading rusher was Travis McWright. He had 20 carries for 87 yards. They threw the ball once, or I should say they threw it 4 times. They completed 1 and had 1 intercepted. Total yardage 10 yards, and that was by Harris, who caught the catch for 10 yards. They had 12 first downs, a lot of those coming on the running attack of Adibi and McWright. They fumbled the ball twice, did not lose the fumble, and they were penalized 3 times for 25 yards. Had a total offense in the first half of 133 yards. For the Bruins in the first half, they carried the ball just 10 times for -7 yards. Their leading rusher was Kyle Franklin, who playing out of the quarterback position, rushed twice for 4 yards, and he completed 1 of 6 attempts for 5 yards. That was to Robert Lewis, and there was 1 interception. The Bruins in the first 24 minutes had no first downs, and they did not fumble the ball. They were penalized 1 time for 5 yards. So net -2 yards offense in the first half. That won't win you any ball games.
The real big play came just before the end of the first half on that kickoff return by Jimmy Williams. 58 yards, got it down and got it within 20. Interception in the end zone.
And the defender just got to that spot before the tight end did. But Bethel's going to have to make some adjustments, Tim, when they come out here. First of all, they're going to give up the ball. So that means Phoebus is going to have probably the worst field position they've had all night, other than that interception as the time went out in the first half. So, that's one reason that Bill D likes his defense, because you put them on the spot early in the game, they're going to get you field position. Phoebus had just awesome field position the whole first half.
And we only discussed 1 turnover. That was the interception by Phoebus of the Bruins, but in fact there were 2 turnovers when you factor in the blocked punt.
Absolutely.
And that did set up the first touchdown.
Well, and Tim, another thing talking about turnovers, though, the Phantoms coughed the ball up 2 or 3 times, but got their own recovered their own fumble. Right. That's something they're going to have to work on. You can't be putting that ball on the ground and expect your team to come up with it every time.
Say my name, Quajon. Say it.
Joseph Solomon has the ball teed up. 3 deep men for the Phantoms. Philip Brown, number 2. Travis McWright, 22. And DJ Parker back deep. And this one will be kicked deeply to the 6-yard line for McWright. And McWright almost broke that one. If he'd gotten by that tackler, he might have gone for quite a distance, as saving that was Chris Ellis. Christopher Ellis made the stop, but not until McWright got the ball all the way out to the 27-yard line.
Now watch the replay, and that's not the first time, Tim, we've called Chris Ellis's name.
This is McWright, and right there, you can't see it in your screen very well, but there was only one man between a very speedy McWright and the end zone. So a big play by Chris Ellis on the kick return. Phantoms keep it on the ground out to about the 30-yard line, a gain of 3.
Well, Bill D is great for making adjustments too, Tim, but he's not going to go away from his game plan. You're ahead 16 points. You don't do anything that jeopardizes or increases the chance of a turnover. They're going to run just what they've done. They've got a nice offensive line in there. It's doing the job. Tight end, Shaheed Harris. In fact, they're running 2 tight ends.
DB was the ball carrier last time for 3 yards. This time the ball carrier is McWright.
Tim, did you see what they did that time? They ran a fake reverse to the split wideout DJ Parker that time, just to kind of make that defense wonder and, make them look at different things while they're running their offense.
3rd down and 4 to go. The ball at the 33-yard line. Need to get to the 37. The Bruins show blitz, now back out of it. Right to McWright, a flag down. McWright has the first down, but a penalty flag on the play. And it looks like, I have a feeling that's going to go against the Phantoms. I think they might have picked up an illegal block.
They got a hold, Tim.
All right, watch the replay. Quick pitch to McWright.
Nice job of cutting back there that time, but as he cut back, one of his teammates illegally use of the hands.
Holding gets the offense, 10-yard penalty from spot of foul, beat 3rd down.
So it's 3rd down.
Tim, if you notice when the Bruins are in a 6-man line and you say it looks like they're getting ready to blitz, that gives you 8 men on that line of scrimmage, and that you're outnumbered the offensive line, which has 7. So that's hard to run across, but if you get a nice quick seam and a quick hitter, sometimes that'll pick you up some yardage. But look for a pass play or a nice draw. They run the draw before.
3rd and 10, and that is the call. The delayed handoff to McWright. Ball apparently came loose again. And no signal yet, but apparently it was recovered by the Phantoms, and it'll bring up 4th down. So the Bruin defense does their job.
And you know that Tracy Parker and his staff was happy. Okay, we came out and we shut them down. They're 3 and out. So now we're going to end up with good field position. Got Jimmy Williams is the only deep back to receive this punt.
Greg Narvid is back to punt the ball. A little bit of pressure from the outside, but he gets it away, and it's taken by Williams at the 44 to midfield, 45-40. And he spins away from a would-be tackler. He's got the sideline. He is quick. They will not catch him. He is in the end zone for a touchdown. So the Bruins get what they needed badly, and that is a touchdown on the return.
Tim, there's no flags on the play. Nice run back. Made a nice catch. Looked like, what many yards was that?
I think it was 56. I believe he took it at about the 44-yard line.
And that's why we saw him so dangerously returning kicks at the latter part of the first half. He did that same type of thing, only he didn't get in the end zone. This time he does. And hopefully we'll have that for you, but it's going to be a touchdown, and the extra point try by Kyle Franklin is long enough, and it is good. So very quickly, after the defense does the job, here's the replay of the touchdown return by Williams. Got it at the 44, so it'll be a
nice move there. Nice move there, and then kept his feet. And he just outran the kicker, Tim. The kicker took a bad angle. And
Williams is just so quick.
Yeah.
Once he got that corner, there wasn't anyone that was going to catch him on that particular play.
Need mini or vertical blinds, or do you need blind repair? Pearls is one of the few places that repairs blinds. Give them a call at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris. They are authorized Mohawk and Armstrong carpet dealers also. So give them a call, 722-1907. That's Pearls in Phoebus.
So the Bruin fans who had the first thing to cheer for in the first half was Jimmy Williams' return, which unfortunately didn't net them any points. This time, Williams does get the points. And now we'll see how the Phantoms respond, as the Bruins defense worked well on the first series, and we'll see how this goes as Joseph Solomon will again kick it to the trio of Brown, McWright, and DJ Parker. This one has the end zone. That will not come out in the high school football. If it goes into the end zone, even in this case through the end zone, it wouldn't matter. But if it even goes into the end zone, you can't return it even if you wanted to. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line. And the Phantoms now will try to regain the momentum. I want to mention that tonight's contest is brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Give them a call. Stop by and check out their new facilities, 827-4670. Appreciate all of our corporate sponsors helping to defray the cost of bringing you this coverage here on Channel 46. From the 20-yard line. Inside handoff to Adibi. He picks up a couple of yards to the 22.
Derek Bates, number 14. Good job that time in on the tackle. The defense for the Bruins is stepping up.
Second down and 8 for the Phantoms.
Take it down to the other official and ask him if he can switch it down between plays.
Henrik will pass. Has plenty of time. Got a man wide open. That's Shaheed Harris, and he is upended at the 34-yard line, but that will be enough to move the chains. Boy, he's a big target.
He is, and you notice that I don't know who was the tackler on it, but he hit him right at the ankles, Tim. Walter Jones.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Jones didn't get the worst of that.
And that was number 22.
But they mark it at the 34-yard line, a first down. And they go back to the ground with McWright. McWright picks up 3 or 4. Let's see where they mark it exactly. It looks like they've got him out at the 37-yard line, so a gain of 3.
Tim, I was very surprised that Bruins did not go for a two-point conversion, because 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, you got to tie a game.
That's good.
Now
point.
they've got to have two more scores.
Good point. You're absolutely right. It would have made it 16-8. I hadn't thought about that. Second down and 7. Adibi. And Adibi has the first down out close to midfield as he is dragged down by the aforementioned number 22, Walter Jones, but not until a first down at the 49-yard line.
Well, one thing that the Phantoms will do, Tim, is they will wear you down. They have a big line, and those young men can get out there and just keep pushing you, and you know, you get a little tired after a while.
watch the replay, you're going to see, and Deavy is a big kid too, so he'll put his head down right there and lunge forward for the first down at the 49. Quick pass near sideline. Parker can't hold on to it. It's just as well. It would have been about a yard loss had he held on to it.
Yeah, you're right.
So that stops the clock with 7:12 left here in the third quarter. All the scoring coming in the first half for the Phantoms. And now here in the second half, the Bruins, with a 56-yard punt return by Jimmy Williams, have made it a difference of 9 points, 16-7. Maybe a yard for the ball carrier, McWright.
Tim, just give you an idea of that front five for the Phantoms. Pavlik is 225, Tidwell is 245, Braxton is 295, Bowles is 240, and Bunch is 245. So you're talking an average there probably of over 250 to 260 pounds. That will wear you out if you keep going against them all the time.
Hendrick, good pursuit by the defense. First man there for the Bruins was number 49, the aforementioned Chris Ellis. And he got a little help. Also out there was Derek Bates, number 14, but Ellis was the man who broke down that play, and the Phantoms will once again not get a first down, and they will have to punt it. So Narvid will be back to punt the ball.
Well, if I was him, I would kick it to number 15 for the Bruins and ask Robert Lewis, not to take anything from Robert, but you know what Jimmy Williams will do. Oh, nice kick.
And this one will be a fair catch called for by Williams at the 24-yard line. So a fair catch is probably as good a result as the Phantoms would like to have seen on that. Keep Williams from doing some damage. You know, we were talking at halftime, Bob Killen, of course, doing the statistics for us, but Bob had a good point. With the lack of the Bruins offense, he suggested that you might want to put Williams at quarterback, which we've seen him play, and allow him to at least, you know, he gets the ball and give him the opportunity to run with it and do some things. So we might see that, and as a matter of fact, Bob was rather prophetic because that's who's at quarterback, Jimmy Williams. Williams rolling on the option, and he does cut it upfield and gets dragged down, but not until he gets to the 35-yard line, which will be a first down. A late flag comes down behind the play. That would be the first down of the ball game, but hold everything because there is a penalty flag on the play. Personal foul against each team.
That's twice that's happened tonight.
Yep. Here you see the play. Williams getting more than enough for the first down. What you don't see is behind the play, out of your picture, was some extra contact by both teams, resulting in
personal foul against the offense, personal foul against the defense. Those penalties are going to offset. We're going to replay first down.
So the big loser here are the Bruins because they lose that first down yardage because the play goes over. See, I thought that was a dead ball foul and the play would stand, but apparently they ruled it occurred while the play was still ongoing.
Must have, because you're right.
So just pretend like that play never happened. It's still first down and 10 after the offsetting penalty. That ball comes loose. Now, was that a pass? I don't think so.
No, I don't know if he was trying to pitch the ball or not.
That's what I'm saying. If it was a shuffle pass, it would be a pass play and it would be incomplete, but they are ruling it a fumble, and I couldn't possibly tell you from our vantage point. We'll see it on the replay.
See it on replay. Tim, he was trying to pitch the ball. He had a trailing back that time, like the option play, and just never got it to him. Defense was all over him.
I think I saw number 9, Marlon Ellis, in that pile. I couldn't make out, and I apologize to the player, but I couldn't make out who recovered the ball for the Phantoms. But a timeout has been taken on the field. The Phantoms have taken the timeout. 5:31 left here in the third quarter.
Tim, I do want to remind the fans that we'll pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight. And those players will receive plaques and shirts. The plaque comes from the Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact the owner, Dave Buckwalter, at 596-8850. The shirt comes from the Island of Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin, and they can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniform, plus screen printing. Give Dave Chubb a call at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
Bruins, that first down that was called back, the offsetting penalties, was their first down, and of course they don't get to keep that one.
No, because that play actually didn't happen, right?
That's right.
You got what we're coming up in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I just want to mention next Friday night, the 12th of October, a huge game. They all seem huge anymore. These same Phantoms will be here to take on Hampton. So the Phoebus Phantoms and Hampton next Friday night, the 12th of October. Hope you'll be out here in person. That should bring a full house out, if nothing will.
We have an injured player on the for the Bruins, slow to get up. But once they stop the clock, he's going to have to come off, and that's number was that 55, Solomon, isn't it?
Yep. A defensive player as well as the punter. So he'll have to come out at least for one play. Ball was marked at the 12-yard line. Excuse me, 13-yard line rather.
That was the DB on that run that time. When it was on that kind of that veer.
Yeah, I think it was. Second down and 8. This is McWright. And McWright is stacked up at about the 12-yard line. So just a yard on the play. Third down and about 7 to go for the Phantoms.
And you see the time, Tim, that time it was just they had a full complement in the backfield. They were all three backs lined up in the eye. And now they've got a wideout and a slot.
For the end zone, knocked away at the last second. The intended pass for Philip Brown. And a good job on defense by Lorenzo Altman, who's already got an interception tonight. And this time breaks up what would have been a serious blow to the Bruins as far as any further scoring. And he's shaken up on the play, is Altman. Here's the replay. And he got landed on by a pretty good-sized Philip Brown, 180, 5'11". But Altman is coming off under his own steam, which is good news.
Yeah, Tim, again, the referee is, they're checking to make sure not going to let anybody play if he's woozy or he doesn't feel good. And he was slow getting up, so, he stopped the clock, get him off. That's a good procedure that they use.
So we're going to see a field goal attempt, the second one. This will be from the 17. It'll make it a 27-yard attempt, and it's up. It is wide left. So good pressure put on the kicker by 14 Derek Bates, and I don't know what effect that might have had, but he did get in there pretty quickly, and Mickle pulled it to the left. No good. So again, the Bruin defense does the job. They've not allowed any scoring here in the third quarter.
If they can get their offense running.
Yep.
And like you said, no first downs. Have gone almost more than a quarter, a half and a half of another quarter. And with no first downs, and that's got to make your offensive coordinators think, hey, something's wrong here.
Williams on what appears to be a quarterback draw or a quarterback option play had to hold on to the ball and just got back to the line of scrimmage. So it's second down and 10 at the 20.
Well, nice breeze coming in tonight.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. It's not affecting the play so much as it affected our blimp that just couldn't hang in there. But, I'm thinking I leave here, I need to stop by and pick up some fried chicken. I need to
Ruth would appreciate that.
Go to Zoom's.
She'd appreciate you bring some dinner home. We can leave now.
Oh, nice pass.
And that one is complete for a first down, and that will be the initial first down of the ball game for the Bruins. Mark it at the 31-yard line, a gain of 11 on the pass completion. That was caught by 86 Cyrus Green. Here's your replay. Jimmy Williams straight drop back and found Green at the first down marker, and that's the first down of the ball game. It comes with 3:33 remaining in the third quarter. Threes are wild. Williams, quick hitter, Bates. Oh my goodness, he slowed down. It looked like he was going to burst through there.
I mean, there was an opening there that he shot through, but you're right, it closed quickly.
And that was Quincy McWright, the brother of Travis McWright, who made that stop. And had Bates gotten through there, it could have been a big play. Here's the replay. Watch this. One man back. That was Ellis, and that would have been the last man before the end zone. Bates tries to cut it back over the middle, but that doesn't work, as he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage or maybe a half a yard, but that's all. So it brings up another crucial third down at the 36-yard line for the Bruins. They need to get to the 41. Third down and 5 for Bethel. Clock becoming a factor here as we approach the 2.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Bruins down 16-7. Jimmy Williams over center. Wants to run with the ball, and he is tripped up. Ball came loose. I think they'll rule he was down.
No, they didn't, Tim.
No.
They said the Phantoms come up with the ball.
Oh, and the Bethel crowd didn't agree with that, and he was down, but
Well, the whistle didn't sound. Shaheed Harris right on top of it.
See if you can see on the replay what you think about this. Williams is going to be deemed to now that's the that was the previous play.
Yeah, that was the play before.
That was Bates.
No fumble on that play.
In any event, the officials much closer to the play than we are have ruled that the ball was fumbled, so the Phantoms get it at the 32-yard line of Bethel.
Key there, Tim, was the ball loose before the whistle blew? And obviously it wasn't, because nobody said down. They didn't point down.
No, they didn't. It was a bam-bam play, but it was a big play for the Bruins. They started to show some offense, and the turnover, just a crucial turnover for them. Now the Phantoms at the Bruin 28-yard line, second down and 5 for the Phantoms. Ronnie Hendricks has been at the quarterback helm the whole game. This is Adibi, and he is stacked up after he gets to the 25. So it'll bring third down and 2 for the Phantoms. Our next game, as I mentioned, next Friday night, Phoebus and Hampton. And then the following Friday night, we'll be back here for Bethel and Kecoughtan. 25-yard line is where they mark it. They need to get to the 23. They're down in a couple for the Phantoms. McWright, and he will not get the first down, as that was a nice defensive play coming over 54, Jonas Watson.
Well, number 14 also, Tim.
Yeah,
54 and 14, both of them. Good job. 14 is, that's Bates. Derek Bates.
Derek Bates. So the Phantoms looking at 4th and 2. They've had pretty good success running the ball. That play by McWright was not an evidence of that, but they've got McWright and Adibi back there. Let's see if they try the hard count. Looks like that might be what Hendricks is trying to do, or checking off at least. This is McWright, and he will not get the first down.
Jimmy Williams
right there to make the stop and get the ball on down. So Williams has been the spark plug on both sides of the ball here in the third quarter for the Bruins. Watch the replay here. Long count by Hendricks. I thought he might be trying to pull him off and then call timeout, but the Bruins defense didn't flinch, and Jimmy Williams just read it perfectly.
He just slipped that blocker. The guy that was trying to block him, he just kind of slipped.
So the Bruins, again, their defense has done the job here in the third quarter, which has 21 seconds remaining. At the 25-yard line, the Bruins will have it. Their only score of the night, a 56-yard punt return by Jimmy Williams. Now Williams,
he's back in at quarterback.
Yep, late coming in from the sideline with the play. And unfortunately,
it's going to cost him.
late. Took too
I
much
thought
time.
it was just taking too long.
Yeah. Once that ball is marked, ready for play, you have 25 seconds. So back it up to the 20. The Bruins did not need the extra yardage to make. They've been struggling on offense. Quick hitter. This is Spate. And he has the first down as he is crushed at the 39-yard line, but not until getting a 19-yard gain.
Well, I don't know what they did, but boy, they found a wrinkle in their offense that really opened up a spot. Watch this, Jaman in motion and back across almost like a cutback.
4 seconds on the clock. It would appear that unless they hurry, they won't get the play off, and they won't get it off. It won't be a delay of game, but the time will expire. There you see the scoreboard with no time remaining here in the third quarter. But encouragement for the Bruins as they have held the Phantoms scoreless and scored a touchdown of their own. So they've cut the 16-0 halftime lead to a 9-point difference after 3 quarters. Again, next Friday night, Hampton and Phoebus. If Phoebus holds on and wins this game, they will improve to 4-1. Hampton will be playing, I'm not sure they're playing tonight or tomorrow.
Playing Saturday night.
I thought they were there.
I think it's at Todd Stadium.
Is it Todd?
I think it's at Todd. I don't know if it's here or not. I don't have the schedule for here, but I'm not sure they play. They're playing, is it Menchville they're playing? Or?
I believe it is. Could be wrong. There's a lot of games going on, but the potential is that the Crabbers could and probably will come in 5-0, and the Phantoms 4-1, and that will be a crucial game for both squads. And again, we talked about it and don't want to belabor the point, but you can't lose very many games and still make the playoffs. Now, these quality teams on the peninsula make it tough on themselves because they end up knocking off each other.
Yep, that's a good point.
But it is a first down for the Bruins. Pitch to Spate, and he is tripped up and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten, well, now they're going to mark him actually down short of the 40, so that will be the line of scrimmage. So,
and that was number 10, Jeremy Blunt, Tim, who is one of the linebackers. Really, hit him right at the ankle, just took his legs right out from under him. Good job by Blunt.
Kyle Franklin is your quarterback again. Now the Bruins late getting an extra man off the field, and they do get him off in time. Franklin wants to throw, steps up, and the Bruins offensive line can't hold out the pursuit.
The pocket just collapsed. I mean, he stepped up into the pocket, and it was like, what pocket?
And Xavier Litter, number 66, was there to put the crutch on him. Watch the replay here. He dropped back, short drop back, got stepped up into the pocket there, and then just got bulldogged to the ground for the loss back to the 35-yard line. So the Bruins offense going in the wrong direction. 3rd down and 15. And now we've got a whistle and
I think we got a timeout, Tim. The coach didn't like their formation.
So the Bruins will take the timeout. That'll be their first of the second half. That'll be leave both teams with 2 remaining in regulation.
Are you looking for floor covering, carpet, tile, vinyl? Call Pearls in Phoebus at 722-1907 for free estimates. They're located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. They authorized Mohawk and Armstrong carpet dealer. John West is the president. Rita Barker, the vice president. Give him a call.
You know, we haven't even mentioned it since the beginning, but it's tough when you're a team like Bethel who relies on a runner like Ananias Boyd and he's taken out of your lineup. That's a big component from your offense.
Well, it really is, Tim, and it's just a shame, but you take safety and precaution when it is a possible a problem, physical. In this case, it's just an irregular heartbeat. They're not sure why. They're going to find out why.
Well, and take nothing away from the defense of the Phantoms. That was not my point. Williams, and he makes the grab at the 35-yard line. Blanketed on the coverage by Philip Brown, but Jimmy Williams makes the catch. So the Bruins are in business at the 36-yard line. Watch the replay here. Al Franklin's short drop just threw that up, and it was a battle down the field between Jimmy Williams and Brown.
Philip ended up with the ball after they came down, but the referee said if you both come down with it at the same time, it goes to the offensive man.
30-yard pass completion, and now we've got a injured player for the Phantoms. That is Harris. Shaheed Harris will limp off the field.
And big number 66, Xavier Litter comes in, Tim, just a sophomore, 6'2", 255.
Franklin over the middle, finds Overton, and Overton. So all of a sudden the passing attack for the Bruins is starting to click a little bit. That's Willis Overton, the senior 6'3", 225, the tight end, making the grab on a nice play, and it gives the Bruins some offense now. They're 2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard gain on the pass play. 9:52 left in the 4th quarter, plenty of time, but because of the 1-point conversion, the Bruins do need 2 scores to win or tie or go ahead in this game, I should say.
Well, that time they tried a quarterback keeper or actually quarterback draw with Franklin. Did not fool the Phantoms.
And that's virtually no gain on the play. Watch the replay. It just didn't.
He just takes a couple of quick steps back, Tim, and then just tries to go with his guard and just collapsed on him. Defense read it good.
3rd down and 3. Overton comes in motion, and they hand the ball off up the middle to number 44, Justin Wood. Or check
no,
that.
It's
is
not
that 14?
14.
I'm sorry. That's Derek Bates, 14.
Yeah, 14.
Couldn't make out the whole number.
Woods is, I think he's injured. I think he's got a broken arm
You're
or something.
Right. I saw him down the sideline. All I saw was the 4 and what looked like another 4, but it wasn't.
You were seeing double?
I seen double.
Okay.
Derek Bates, the young man carrying it. 4th down and a yard. Now this is crucial for the Bruins. 4th down and 1 with 8.5 minutes remaining. And Bates gets the call.
And he didn't make it.
If he had to get to the 25, he didn't get the first down.
Yeah, and I'm looking, that's what it looks like the marker is on at 25, but that's not what the spot is.
No, it definitely is not. It will be on downs over to the Phantoms. Now Richard Rawl is going to look at it, but
he says we'll measure. We'll measure. They're going to call for measurement?
Well, you know, they've already moved the chain. They've already moved the chain, and Richard can ask for a measurement, but it will be of no value in here. I got to tell you, they can't go back to the replay because we won't have it, but he didn't get the first down. He had to make the 25, and the ball was short.
Yeah, if you look at where the ball is spotted, Tim, it's just across the 26-yard line, so it's not even to the 25.
I'll show you where you'll see it on the replay here. He was stopped and never got to the 25, and you see the official at the right side, the bottom right, waving his hands. That's where he was marking it well short. Now they're going to bring the chains over, but they'd already moved them, folks, so I'm not sure how they're going to justify this. But they're going to make it official now. It is not a first down, so they got the play right.
Well, Tim, there's a little marker on the chain.
Yeah.
If they haven't moved it, then that was what they could use to go back and do the measurement with.
But they got the call right, and that's the most important part. He did not get to the first down marker. So the Phantoms, with 8:22 remaining in the 4th quarter, lead 16-7, and they've got the ball at their own 25. And I think you're going to see a lot of McWright as you see him there, picking up a first down across the 35 to almost the 37. And that will stop the clock momentarily while they change or move the chains, and then they'll recrank it with 8:13 to go. Watch the replay. You'll see Travis McWright.
Tim, it looked like when Bethel's offense did the best is when Kyle Franklin was quarterbacking.
116 yards tonight for Travis McWright. Again, McWright gets the call and picks up good yardage. Again, want to remind you that this second half brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager, conveniently located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of their facility, stop by or give them a call at 827-4670. They marked the ball at 41.
And if you want some Beantown coffee, fried chicken, potato wedges, Krispy Kreme donuts, ham and cheese subs, Coke, and
no more,
fill her up with gas.
No more food. Don't talk about food anymore.
Where would you go?
To Zooms. And McWright. Forward progress will give him about the 44 and a half, almost the 45-yard line. Jonas Watson in on the stop for the Bruins, as he has so many times tonight. Here's the replay. Ronnie Hendricks running the attack very effectively tonight for Bill D's Phoebus Phantoms. Jonas in on a stop.
Well, Hendricks isn't real flashy, but he does a good job. He executes the plays. He does a good job of following through with his fakes, and when he does have to pass. Oh, nice defensive stop.
Yep. Again, virtually no gain, maybe a half of a yard, but they need to get to the 46 and a half. And he stopped at the 45, so it brings up a fourth down now. And watch the replay here. This was, again, a good job by the Bruin defense. They've just been real stingy tonight. You know, they've done a real good job. When you think about it, the first score, which many times can set the momentum for you, as you see the clock there, 6 minutes to go in regulation, was off of that blocked punt. They had to go just 18 yards. So,
yeah,
you know, the Bruin defense has had a tough situation. They've really only given up 2 scores that were of any length at all. Jimmy Williams, no fair catch, caught it at the 28-yard line, looking for some blocking, got a block, and now goes out of bounds, but he's at the 34-yard line before he steps out. Good block to spring.
Oh, he got a couple of nice blocks, Tim, really did.
Willis Overton, who came up with a good block on the return. This was a close call.
There.
Close call.
Now that was the block in the back.
So they had a block in the back. Not the one I thought was such a nice block, but the other one that followed it shortly.
Yeah.
Didn't get called, so guess what? It doesn't count if they don't see it.
That's right.
34-yard line is where the Bruins have it, and now we have a stoppage of play.
Phoebus is calling it, I think it's their second timeout.
That's the call. 5:34 left in regulation.
Tim, we got to be thinking about player of the game, and I want to let the fans know right now we are going to pick 2 players from the Phantoms tonight, and the reason we're doing that is because of the scheduling and conflicts we had, we're only going to be able to do 3 games during the regular season with them and 4 for the other schools. So it doesn't mean that we're slighting any of the other schools, but we just want to catch up. This is a thing we think is very important to recognize some of the kids. So we will pick 2 from the Phantoms tonight and 1 from the Bruins. We've got a lot of people to look at.
Yes, we do. A healthy list of individuals. I'll tell you where I'm kind of headed here. Over here or perhaps there.
Yeah, either one of those I would go with. Yep.
And back to the live action. This is Willis Overton. And he got the pass completed at the 41-yard line. Yep.
Yeah, that would be the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Or even this. I mean,
yeah, there's, as usual, there are a number of good candidates for our players of the game. We pretty much have a difficult time doing it. We've used this disclaimer over the years. You know, it's very unscientific. It's the impression we've gotten from the play on the field. And quite frankly, a lot of times it's tough to make one, or even in this case for the Phantoms, 2 players as players of the game. But there's a no-win situation in some sense. As that pass was rather poorly. That's about the worst pass we've seen tonight. Kyle Keene
and Tim
was intended receiver.
What may have happened that time is the receiver stopped instead of running through to his where he should have been, because the ball was really not close to him at all.
We were going back to that return by Williams to try and show you the one that, and the officials, let me tell you something, these officials have a tough job, and we're not by any means trying to single anyone out, but once in a while, right there, it looked to be, it was a block in the back, it looked to be, but they're not going to catch them all, and they're going to have a hard time catching Spate. He's going for the angle. He won't get in the end zone because of a super effort by DJ Parker.
Parker, that's right, number 14. Oh, number 7.
Number 7. And Harris is shaken up back at the 45-yard line. Shaheed Harris limping off the field. He's had a couple of spots tonight where he's had some problems. He might be cramping up. 51 yards on the play. And the Bruins are in business at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. DJ Parker with great speed to catch Spate.
7 caught number 2. Spate.
Spate was the ball carrier. Franklin, your quarterback. Overton in motion. Bate. And the ball was loose, but they rule down by contact, so there's no fumble. And if you're the Bruins, you took a great big sigh of relief there.
And as a ball carrier, Tim, he kind of putting the ball out in front of him. You got to protect that ball.
Watch this from the ground level. See, you don't want to do that, but that was the correct call. And these kids just lunging a little forward, trying to get as much yardage as they can. But you got to be real careful because of the official rules. You didn't get your knee down before that came loose. That's a fumble. Got a man in motion, Overton. And a pass behind Jimmy Williams. That was just didn't work out. It wasn't a good execution.
He might have gotten his arm hit on a follow through, being Franklin, Tim, because that ball would look worse than a wounded duck.
And a very fortunate, as you watch the replay, very fortunate that it didn't get picked off. Had a bit of a mix-up there. He had to.
Oh no, it was hit. One of the linemen hit it.
Sure
Okay.
was. Thank you. I apologize to Mr. Franklin. It was not a bad throw. It was a tipped ball by one of the big linemen. So Kyle Franklin not guilty on that one. This is Spate, and he will not get in. That was 3rd and goal, and so now you got to go.
You kick the field goal now, too?
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Right, you need the 2 scores.
And you've got to get 1 score out of this, and if they stop you on a attempt to get the touchdown, then you have no score.
That's
so
correct.
In this case, I've been a proponent. Now, it's always tough to go for a field goal when you need the 2 scores. You got the ball at the 3-yard line. You may not get back there, but you almost have to go with that thought that if I kick the field goal and kick an onside kick, I've got a chance. I mean, you have to have 2 scores. One way or the other, you have to have 2 scores. You see this occur every now and then where you just have to decide, and this is undoubtedly the reason why Tracy Parker has pulled his team aside and taken their 2nd timeout of the 2nd half here. Set it up for you. There's 3:34 remaining in the 4th quarter regulation time, and we use that reference because, of course, there is high school football overtime should we be tied at the end of regulation. There you see it, 3:34, 4th and goal, the ball at the 3-yard line. Kyle Franklin. They are not obviously going for the field goal. Play action fake. Franklin running for the corner, and he is in.
Whoa, what a nice play.
An excellent call on 4th and goal. And Franklin, the quarterback with the 2-quarterback system, who is deemed to be the passer
Not
versus
the runner.
rusher, but he did a real nice job of becoming a rusher. He did that nice play action fake and went out on kind of a bootleg and got into the end zone, dove in for the score. It makes it a 3-point difference. This extra point crucial as it's up and good. And now we have a 2-point ball game with 3:26 remaining. So the Bruins coming in this game with just that single loss last Friday. And they're showing some real gumption here. Here's the replay. Watch this. Play action. And then he just rolls out. Jimmy Williams tries to hold off without getting called for holding.
Well, and he was wide open. He says, throw me the ball, but hey, you know, why throw the ball when I know I can get in?
Yeah, you've got to take the percentage play there where you've got a good angle. And, you know, I guarantee you Kyle Franklin's running for his life, his football life, if you will. And he got it into the end zone.
He has been an inspiration for their offense. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, they didn't get their first down until 4:24 remained in the third quarter. That's how effective the Phoebus defense has been.
You think they might try an onside kick?
Well, you know, I think they have
a lot of time left.
But they only have one timeout remaining. And as effective as the Phantoms have been running the ball, you don't know. But the Phantoms have been held scoreless here in the second half. You know, Bill T made that reference. Every time they play Bethel, something strange happens. Yeah. Well, we're set up for a strange ending here. You know, go back to the opportunity to second guess, which is always easy to do.
Yeah.
When they scored that touchdown, and they were down 16-6. Had the Bruins gone for and completed the two-point conversion.
I was very surprised they didn't.
They've been in a position. I think the rule of thumb is when you're down by 9, you go for 2.
Because you're going to have 2 scores anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's a moot point. But now we'll see. They don't try the onside kick. They say to the Phantoms, we're going to see if our defense can do the job. So McWright returns the kick out to the 19-yard line where the Phantoms will try and register a couple of first downs. That's all they need to do. One timeout remains for each team. And this has been a good one. Hope you've enjoyed it here. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and the Channel 46 crew coming to you from Darling Stadium. This game videotaped on the 5th of October, 2001. Bethel and Phoebus, each 3-1. One of them will be 3-2 after this ball game. And there's a big question mark going on right now. Can the Bruins stop the Phantom offense? This is McWright. He is out to the 25, a gain of almost 5.
And that's what you got to do. You got to get big yardage on first down. That puts the pressure on the defense. And you know, if you're Bethel, you know they're not going to, if we watch the replay, Tim, they're not going to put the ball in the air.
No.
So they're going to get 8 men up on that line of scrimmage.
McWright, and that was almost a little questionable of a handoff. It didn't run as smoothly as I'm sure Bill D would like to have seen it, although he didn't fumble the ball. But that was a precarious handoff. 2nd down and 5, and McWright will not get the first down, or at least he'll be very close to the first down. We'll see where the mark is. I think he's going to be about a foot short.
Well, I tell you, that was close.
Oh, it was very close. The mark is going to be close enough for them to stop the clock, and they're going to want to bring the chain across. And if I can get a look at the ball, he's going to be about the length of the football short of a first down from my vantage point. Watch the replay here. McWright with good acceleration.
Tim,
and
that
a good
ball,
jump.
I mean, he was almost, he would have been over the line had that last defender not pushed him back.
And I'm not sure if they got a great spot either. So we'll see. I think they're going to be about a football short of the first down.
Tim, you're a little off. I think it's about a half a football.
Well, okay.
But I mean, you're right. That's
He was short.
Yes, and that was the key. The key was you were correct.
So the key here is this is so crucial. If they can hold them on 3rd down and about a foot. There you see the story. 1 timeout remains for each team. The Bruins trying to reserve that timeout. I would suspect if they can hold them here, they'll perhaps burn the timeout then. Now the clock restarts. And boy,
smart play.
Yeah, I don't know whether he got it. Did they mark him at the 30?
He spotted it right at the 30-yard line.
And that will give him a first down. That will be enough to move the chains.
And that's exactly what they're saying. They're signaling first down.
Yep. So Richard Rawls doesn't have to bring the chains out for this one. So that could be the nail.
Well, it's one more nail. It's not the final one yet.
No, not the final. They still have time. They've got 2:10. The clock is moving. And the disadvantage in high school ball is there is not a play clock. So they've got to kind of tick this one off in their minds. That's a sweep, which takes a lot of time. And it also picks up 5 yards to the 35-yard line. So, you know, if you're Tracy Parker, you say, man, I wish we hadn't had to burn those timeouts. And certainly I don't think he wasted any timeouts, but you just wish you could keep them until the very end like this.
Thank you, really. Tim, we will go on with the players of the game. For the Phantoms, we're going with number 87, Shaheed Harris, and number 22, Travis McWright. And for the Bruins, number 10, Kyle Franklin. Did a great job getting this offense going for the Bruins.
Good call. The Bruins defense gambling, they shot the gap, and the Phantoms had the right call played. They say, the Bruins do, that the ball came loose, but the officials have not ruled it as such.
No.
So they apparently ruled the ball was down by contact, so no fumble. 1:07, running out of time here. It's 3rd down. I almost think, well,
you got
to. Yeah, I'd almost call the timeout now, but I guess you wait till 4th down, and then you have to call it. If you don't stop them here, it's a moot point. But the Phantoms will take as much of that 25 seconds as they can. And again, that clock in their head has to be the way they do this. They're all up at the line, and this is a handoff and a first down. That will put it.
That's the final nail.
Yeah, that'll put the ball game out of question as the Phantoms did what they needed to do, which was to run the ball effectively, and they did it. And against a good defense.
I tell you,
Bruins
team
played well.
Great job.
They held Phantoms scoreless in the 4th quarter and did a great job. So our hats off to both squads on a well-played ball game tonight. Yep, they did not allow the Phantoms any points in the second half. And you just got to go back to that block punt.
Yeah, we got a timeout.
Yeah,
They did call that final timeout.
That's the last one, but it's futile, really, because all they need to do now, the Phantoms, is just to take a knee for 2 downs or one more down after the clock is restarted. So, but hats off to Tracy Parker's squad. They didn't quit. They fell behind 16-0, and
they just kept fighting.
Yeah, the defense just did a great job. The offense started to click in the second half of the 3rd quarter and into the 4th quarter. They played much better on offense, but a little bit too little, too late. As the homecoming crowd will go home disappointed, and on the other side, as you see the Phantom side of the field, they of course will celebrate their 4th victory of the season. Moves Hampton and Phoebus to a contest next week where, should Hampton win Saturday, they'll be 5-0, and the Phantoms will come in 4-1 for our big contest next Friday night here at Darling Stadium. And the Bruins attempting to steal the ball, but a heads-up play by Hendricks to simply fall backwards and prevent any kind of possible fumble or takeaway.
And, you know, Hendricks has just done, I think, a quiet job of really doing what he was asked to do out there on the field tonight offensively for the Phantoms.
So the time has expired here. We want to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors for their support this evening from Darling Stadium. And they are Zooms with 14 Peninsula locations. Also brought to you by Pearls, located at 15 North Mallory in Hampton. and in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the funeral director. Teams meet at the center of the field, congratulate each other. Well-played game, no flare-ups of tempers. Everybody played a good sportsman kind of game you want to see. 16-14.
And not that many flags.
Nope. No. Good game all the way around. Okay, that's going to do it for us here at Darling Stadium. For Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and the Channel 46 crew, the final score is Phoebus 16, Bethel 14. This is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.